Why, hello there, and welcome. Today's July 29th, 2012, and you're watching Overgrowth Weekly number 81. I am Lukas.
I'm Anton Real.
And Morten? Yeah, we didn't hear you there for some reason. I was worried you had forgotten to unmute yourself or something. Can you speak again, just to make sure?
Hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now. Good. Alright, so, welcome to the first real monthly Overgrowth Weekly. Yes, if you didn't know already, we're moving to a monthly format, but we're keeping the name, so don't get confused. The countdown is correct on the site when it says it's like in 30 days or whatever. So yeah, lots of stuff has happened during the past month. A lot of stuff. It's like... a lot of stuff, like 4 weeks of stuff almost. It's crazy, isn't it?
Wow. Has it been like 4 weeks since we covered anything?
Pretty much, yeah. 3 or 4 weeks.
Yep.
I'm not entirely, 29 days or something like that. So yeah, lots
I think
of stuff.
28 days.
28. Oh man.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do the math
I'm
on that. I'm gonna put my guys on it, and we'll let you know at the end of the episode.
I fully expect the zombie apocalypse by the end of the show.
Yeah, that should happen probably.
The rabbit zombie apocalypse.
And
I think... What?
And Whale Man, something, beards, pink,
Whaleman
stuff,
beards.
you know.
Yeah. I just kind of assumed that since zombies are so hot that we should have a zombie mod, right?
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, now you're getting my thoughts. Yeah, zombie mod for Overgrowth would be actually cool. It would be cool. But yeah, let's keep. Let's not start the show. Okay. So first up, we have alpha stuff. Folks. So there have been 3 alphas or something like that, if I am not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. So we're going to cover just the biggest changes here for these alphas that have come out in the past month. And the first up is that you can now change in parameters when you're in the game. You can change like what team a character is on. So you can change, as you can see, just bring up the parameter editor by pressing Control. No, just U with the just U, while having someone selected, and you can change the team. And then when you hit OK on that, they're on different teams suddenly, and they start fighting. And there you go. So this is a really good thing, very good thing for modders, because they don't have to create new characters whenever they want to do things like this.
This has been much needed.
Yeah, it really has.
Yeah. It's funny, I mentioned this to David when we were hanging out at New Year's, and he said, yeah, that'd be great for modders, but he's like, I don't know if we need it for the real game. And I said, yeah, but I think you'll like it anyway. And it finally came.
Yeah.
Half a year later.
Yeah, well, he did deliver, so that's good. And then, by the way, that kill there, I gotta go back there so you can see that. Look at this kill that's coming up. It's so nice. It's like playing football with bunnies. 3, 4. So the thing here is they added so that there is a challenge end UI, like a real UI when you end a challenge, which looks super awesome.
Looks very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to see the UI being used in a proper method, and since all the UI is HTML scriptable, like you could go in and mod this so easily and make it look like anything you wanted, but it is definitely cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. Like it shows cool information as well. Like the thing that I was surprised with. Oh, I can hear myself again. What is this? The thing that I was surprised. What is this? No. Oh my goodness. I muted you and I turned down the volume, and then it just starts playing for no reason. Man, Jesus. So the thing that surprised me with this UI thing is that you can see how many enemies there are on the level, and if they're dead, or if you just didn't kill them at all, or if they're unconscious. So
Right.
like if they're unconscious, they have like a minus in their thing, in their head, in the rabbit head thing, things like that. So that was the thing that I was a bit surprised about. It looks very, very slick, works very nice.
I think it's a very nice step just towards something that feels more like a game.
What did you say?
It's a very nice step towards something that feels more like a game.
Yeah,
now you
exactly.
have already now you have some motivation to get a flawless or never hurt, no kills, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So that's very nice.
Yeah.
And of course you can add your own like extra things there. You see extra, the achievements. You can add your own of those, which is very nice.
Right. And it also alludes to what happened in the next alpha was having different objectives.
Yes.
And that's a huge change as well. I know I'm kind of pushing forward. Yeah, the following week, David added real objectives that you could add to the game. And he did that with a couple new hotspots, which is pretty great. But now, in theory, you could create your own objectives and make a level about anything you want. So it's a very cool thing to do, to have, and it's just another one of those layers of gameplay that feels like gameplay to a gamer, built on all this background technology that they've been working on for nearly 4 years.
Yeah.
So this is a nice change and something great to see finally happen.
Yeah, I agree. It's I don't know what triggered that. I mean, they worked on receiver, and he was like, I think I'm going to work more on the gameplay stuff now. I don't know if he worked more on the gameplay because he did receiver, or did he work more on gameplay, or did he make receiver as a preparation for gameplay creation, if you know what I mean?
Well, I would say that, at least from my discussions with him, what happened when we finished receiver is he realized that there was a lot of things that were very easy to implement that would make the game suddenly feel much more like a game with missions and objectives that he could add in, and maybe not focus so much on all this low-level background stuff that is cool for the game, but it kind of doesn't move the game forward. So I think that was his big thing, because now they can start building actual levels and actual story missions, and then keep working on that background stuff as updates or things like that. But at least now Aubrey could, in theory, start building actual levels for the story.
Yes, exactly. And of course, he made like 10 of these challenge things that he has in a menu that come with the game now. So you actually have official gameplay in the game now, which I think is quite exciting actually. So you have this menu here where you can select from a bunch of different challenges. And the one that stands out to me, I don't know if other challenges in this have something like this as well. I tested one other one that should have had, but it didn't, so I'm not sure. But this one has a thing where you need to get to a point and back, and then you'll finish the level. But you can't be chased by an enemy, because then you can't finish the level, quite simply. So in the first test I did, I just jumped to the green thing and jumped back, but I can't finish the level because I'm being pursued. And then
Yeah.
I do it once again, but more stealthily, and I managed to complete it.
I still haven't been able to complete it without being spotted, so
I
you
mean,
can also just kill the wolves and then go finish also. That's another valid way to finish it.
Yeah.
You just can't be being chased when you when you finish the level.
I mean, that's what's so nice about it is, you have several ways of completing a level, whether you prefer to be stealthy or just direct.
Right.
Choose
And
your
that's one of
playstyle.
that's one of the options that they've definitely talked about a lot, is when they talk about open world, they've been talking about this type of open world where the objective may be there, but the way that you finish it is open to your interpretation and your way of playing. So
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really nice. So yeah, those are the big changes in the alphas for the past month, and we'll be keeping an eye on the upcoming alphas as well, and telling you about what's cool and new. So moving right along. Let's see, actually, I'm actually finishing the level here right now, so let's take a look at that just to see that it works. Yay, it worked. And I didn't even kill the last wolf. Yeah.
Nice.
So, moving right along. Let's see what's up next. So we're moving on into the community segment now, and first up there, as usual, is the fan art watch, as per usual. And let's take a look at that. So here we go. First, we have Marcus 1985 with a bunch of images right there. He's gotten like an entire image for himself because he made so much stuff, all these sketches. And
Yeah, I like all the little band. It's the rock band of OG characters.
yeah.
The whale man is amazing.
The what? The whale man.
Whale, yeah.
I like the cat, the singer dude. He looks awesome, and he censored the meow thing. It's so nice.
Yeah,
And of course,
I think it's funny that the rat has an extra drumstick in its tail.
yeah. He has probably another drum back there somewhere.
Probably.
And of course, on the right side we have Bat Rab or Rab Bat, or I don't remember his name because I kind of didn't include it in the image, but it's there somewhere. Batman
Nice.
Rabbit. And then we have more art, of course. We have 3 images here, one from Macrochinia, Awesome Wolf, and Simple Taste.
I loved the now I can't think of what it's called. The lizard. I feel silly because I do know what type of lizard that is. That has
Oh,
Turner in the cage. What's that?
Chameleon, or kinda?
Yeah, chameleon.
Chameleon, yeah, that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah. That's how we pronounce it in English.
Yeah, it's
I don't know how you say it in
English.
Swedish.
Overgrowth Weekly English Swedish lesson number 1. Chameleon, chameleont. Chameleon, chameleont.
Nice.
There you go.
Chameleont.
Chameleon.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice stuff.
And the Simple Taste one is great too. Seeing a fairly accurate to what Aubrey has talked about possibility for a female rabbit. It's good.
Yeah,
I like that.
I agree. I like the Awesome Wolf one. It's just great. So
Yep.
cool.
That style is fantastic. So I agree.
Yeah.
And next we have one more image. 2 images by EWAD3 and 2 images by SteelRaven7. The rightmost one there is actually a desktop background that you can download and use as a desktop background. It's based on the receiver background made by Aubrey that he posted in the blog post for the story for receiver that was released like yesterday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the Wolf Sire logo. It's so nice.
It's pretty cool.
It looks almost like the wolf is crying, but I think that's a monocle or something.
Like it's crying, yeah.
And I have some filler stuff up to the left there as well. It's a beret, Le Beret and Le Baguette and Le Bunny with a sword. Because it was so empty there otherwise, so I just drew
The
something.
bunny, it's I think you've outdone yourself there, Lucas. That is...
What did you say?
I think you've outdone yourself. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so that's all the fan art for this month. Yeah. So lots more fan art as well, because since it's monthly, see so much content. It's amazing, amazing. So let us move right along. That's the fan art watch. Next up, we have a little bit of combat stuff for you. We have 2 weapons made by SteelRaven7 that we're gonna take a look at. So let's do that. Bam. So SteelRaven7 made first this war axe that you're seeing in this video right here. And I just thought I'd show these 2 weapons specifically because they're so nice. Like he even has the sharpness maps, man. Sharpness maps.
Nice. Well, a war axe being thrown and getting stuck in someone has got to be an awesome feeling.
Yeah, I have that in this video in slow motion, Anton.
Oh.
Slow motion.
I can't wait to see it. Show me, show me.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump forward because it's a lot of fighting before that. So, boop, 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 boop.
But it's very nice seeing people actually starting to implement the sharpness map.
Yes.
I think that was missing for quite some time.
Mm-hmm. And this is like the reason I'm showing these two specifically is that they're so high quality. Like, it looks really, really nice. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I have a second one too, Anton. I have a second one too.
It's so great. It's so like epic.
Yeah. Here's another one. Take a look at this one.
I'm looking. Uh-oh. Nice throw. Oh,
right in the
nice.
mouth. Yeah.
It looks like he's playing Limbo.
Sweet.
But it's really nice to see, like, this is what I feel has been missing for a while, some proper textures on weapons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, weapons themselves can be fine and all, but I feel a lot of them they've really been missing some proper textures.
Yeah.
I think that's nice about this.
Yeah, I agree. Like, proper... Like, there have been some good weapons, but there has always be something with them that's, like, off. Like, maybe they don't have a sharpness map or whatever. You know, things like that. Like, small things. But these are, like... These weapons are just so nice. They just work as intended. And it's so nice. Yeah, so here's the second weapon. It's a crowbar, also by Steel7. And it's not really canon, I guess, but, you know, really fun stuff. Especially if you like Half-Life, you know, crowbar. Okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, this video is going to be uploaded to our YouTube channel, as well as many of the other videos that we're showing here today. So let us keep on moving. That's the two weapons, and then we have the main menu mod that has been updated. And Anton, do you want to take it away, since this is your thing?
Yeah, sure. I mean, over the last month, I think we've added almost 20 new maps or something crazy like that. It's going strong. We're very close to having 140 maps, which is almost 100 maps more than when we first started the menu mod. So if you want to play some custom-made maps from the community, there's a lot. I mean, and hours of fun gameplay, fun parkour levels, fun story levels. We'll get to some of the new story levels, and we'll get to some of the new interesting things people have been building when we look at custom maps later. But yeah, menu mod is coming along. I can take this moment to say that we've realized that now the menu mod is actually about it's almost 1.1 gigabytes to download the entire mod, which is huge, and hopefully people are updating and not reinstalling it on a regular basis, because that would kill my server. But we have been you know, it's part of a group of utilities that we're trying to put together to bring loading and downloading maps in game. Unfortunately, one of our people that are working on the in-game portions they're in Finland for a while and interning with Frozen Byte, which is great for him. It's unfortunately slowed that down, so we're focusing in August to start adding some of those features within some launcher, where you'll actually be able to download the map mod, the menu mod, in a little bit more. Fine, it's Johannes, since everyone's asking. Whatever. But we're working right now, because we have to do it anyway. Is we're trying to figure out how exactly we can make it easy for people to package mods so that they're easily downloadable. We may be releasing a little application that people will use to you basically put in the level file that you want to upload to us, and it will automatically collect any resources that don't exist in the normal game. So there's been a lot of times when people are missing files and things. That will help clean it up. It will help clean up installation. You will be able to install individual menus and not 140 maps all at once, and then also it will separate out. I think we'll have individual installations for the object browser, for the custom weapons, for things like that. So we're getting close to. We're discussing all those details. I'm hoping by the end of August we'll have that function coming, but we're still busy. So
End of August, folks. You heard it here first. End of August. You said it, Anton.
Aaron, who is doing all the programming, has just said that too many people have expectations. So you'll probably we may not have the completed version by the end of August, but I'm hoping that we'll at least see the first portions of that showing up by the end of August. So that's my goal anyway. At least to split up because there are a few really large chunks, like downloading all of the skyboxes is a really large chunk. Downloading downloading the skyboxes can be on its own. Downloading the object browser on its own, and a few other things like that. Once they're separated out, it will be much easier. So
yeah, people are saying how huge expectations they have for some launcher now and so. Just so you know.
Hey guys, we're aiming for the moon here.
Yeah.
I think that's a very important addition. People to be able to choose for themselves.
Yeah.
Because a gig is a lot to download now.
It is, and it kind of crept up to that size unexpectedly.
Yeah.
I think I'll also probably keep all of Aubrey's maps separate. So if people just want to unlock the official maps from Wolfire, you might be able to just do that as opposed to, downloading it with all the other custom maps. I think that should kind of be a separate thing. So, yeah. Anyway,
main some launcher, some OG utilities. It's gonna be great. End of August, guys.
So.
Got it.
No, end of August to see something. Not finished for sure.
Yeah. So before we move on, I feel that we need to show a very nice image that SteelDraven7 did. He does nice images, doesn't he?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's nice. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, I just had to show that.
That's the first one. Look, you should look at the second picture too.
Oh, he did that.
So
I'm so handsome. Oh, I have a leather jacket. And there's Johannes.
So there we go. There's Johannes. It's a picture taken by Aaron, who's complaining that I've that everyone's expectations too high.
I wasn't there though.
You should have been.
I should have been.
You should be at GDC next year.
Yes, I should. I always should.
GDC is very available from Scandinavia.
Yeah, it's like around the corner.
For sure. Just take a bus. It's like an hour-long drive.
Yeah, of course. It's nice. It's really great. Yeah, so let's keep moving.
Okay.
Thank you, SteelDraven7. Thank you. Next up, we have more stuff by SteelDraven7. He's very, always doing stuff. So he made a wipeout hotspot. Oh man, stuff is going on. Minimize yourself. There we go. So SteelDraven7 made a wipeout hotspot and killing hotspot and some other hotspot as well. He's made hotspots that are useful for when you're making levels. And these haven't been done before really. They make it so that when you walk into them, you start ragdolling. You become ragdoll, and then you can set the amount of time that you have before you get out of ragdoll. And there is also a hotspot that that gets you out of ragdoll, like always, if it's from one of those ragdoll hotspots that you got into ragdoll. And they can shoot you away, and what else can happen? You can set the kind of ragdoll that you have as well, so you can have the active ragdoll or the limp ragdoll. It's just really great stuff. I'm not entirely sure how yeah, how, you know, if it worked with the latest alpha, because I think he made it for the last alpha. But hopefully it's kind of compatible, otherwise maybe it's portable to future alphas, I don't know.
So far, hotspots are actually pretty independent from the scripting layer. So as long as they don't move and the reference to them doesn't move, then we should actually be good.
Nice. That's really, really great, because they're very useful. Like, Sputy used them in his last race level, if I am not mistaken, right?
He did. He actually used them in a couple ways. If you jump in places where you're not supposed to go, you'll ragdoll and die. And if you fall off the course, you ragdoll so that you die. And he actually also made it because until this most recent alpha, there was no way to trigger the end of the game without dying. So he actually added one so that when you finish his most current map, you die, and then we all have a consistent way to time ourselves. But since then, there's now been added an actual ending type of hotspot, so he could actually use that. And
it's much more cooler when you die, though. Like, really.
It is cool, and it's really funny because he put a finish line, and you run through the finish line, and then you ragdoll into a wall, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. Although I guess it's more convenient to have it be just a normal like finish line thing, because that means that you can just walk into it, because you have to be alive to win, right? Otherwise you might be able to somehow kill yourself before you reach the finish line, and you're like, yes, 1 second.
But I mean, it's not going to be as interesting. Let's face it. We want to see the rabbits die. So
yeah, that's true. We can have the finish line and then they die right afterwards or something.
I was going to say the other good thing about this, the newest hotspots that David added to the game, in addition to being able to finish, using the hotspot that you showed off in your video where you have to get to a location and then somewhere else, he can actually put checkpoints, so there would be no cheating if you don't cross all the hotspots while running the race and get to the end. It will not let you finish.
Yeah, which is really great. Because, yeah, you know, this is why these hotspots are so great, because they're official, so they probably won't break as much as other mods do. And also they're like exactly what we've been wanting for a long time. Like, we've been talking about checkpoint hotspots for like a year or something now, probably. It's like, well, they're not forever.
They're not the type of hotspot checkpoints that you're talking about, where you can restart at a certain spot, but
yeah, that's true.
But yes, they at least have some of that functionality, so they're great.
Yeah. So let us move on. That's the wipeout hotspot. If you're making levels, especially race levels, and I guess other levels as well, use them creatively. Check them out. It's really useful stuff. Well done, SteelRaven7. And then another thing by SteelRaven7, vignette effect by SteelRaven7. He did it. He made a vignette effect. Oh yeah. Because someone asked in the forums if that was possible to do, and he made a shader that does it. I don't know how to make shaders. He does though, so that's nice.
That looks great. That would be great for like a dream sequence or something like that.
It's yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
It's quite exaggerated in this image, but I'm sure you can just tone it down. Since it's a shader, I guess you like multiply it on top or something, so you can probably just pull that down very easily without any performance impact, which is really cool.
Still Raven7 is asking, did I make this?
Oh, he did not?
I don't know. And then he says, yep, you can tone it down. Oh. Yeah.
What?
I get it. Never mind.
Yeah, shader done. I guess he made it, otherwise he stole it. I don't know.
Take the credit. Just take it.
I get the joke. I read it with the wrong emphasis.
Huh?
I read it with the wrong emphasis on the question. Okay, so.
Yes. Vignette effect.
It's awesome.
It's cool.
We like vignettes.
Steel 11-7. Oh man, this is like so dynamic. See what you can do when you have a live show. This would never happen if this was pre-recorded. Steel 11-7 does it again.
Jesus Christ.
Its face.
That's such a creepy face. Like, it's just.
So I guess that means I'm taking over the whaleman's position as a meme within the Wolfire community. I think that's official now, that face.
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah, vignette effect, very nice. I guess this should be very portable as well, since it's a shader. I'm not sure, like, I don't think you can activate shaders like on a per level basis, though, can you? It's like
I think
it's on or it's off.
I think it is a per level basis in the
right,
level
it
XML. It's near the top. There's a shader, and you pick which shader.
Yes, because they have this. They have the nighttime apps, and they have a different shader.
Correct.
Yes, very nice. Yeah, so do put this in your levels if you want to.
If you want a dream level, yeah.
Even if you don't want to. I mean, someone said that. I think someone said they should be in something. I mean, it could be. I'm thinking about race levels right now because that's the like. I like race levels. Thank you, Spooty. I think vignette effects would work well in race levels, because you're just running straight forward anyway. So it would add to like speed effect. Any hoosers, very nice. Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was agreeing with you. Like if you could adjust that shader at the faster you went.
Yeah, that would be cool too. That would be.
But I don't
cooler.
think that's as easy. Yeah.
But like on the race levels, you're almost always moving quickly anyway. So it's like, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway. Let's move on. We have Epic First Person Mod 0 version 0.5 by Corbin3. I made a video for this because this mod is like so cool. It's yeah, it's just so cool, man. Gotta check this out. So, first person mod. This has been like, it's been out kind of for a while for some alpha versions. It's been like around for a while, but not updated. But it's working in this alpha. So it's kind of, as you can see, you don't see a whole lot. And this is with the original 90 field of view.
Mm-hmm.
Further on in the video, I turned that up to 120 field of view in the next level here, in this level. It looks kind of a bit weirder, but it's much easier to like see what you're doing to play in general.
I think this needs to be implemented. It just reminds me like of an Overgrowth way of playing, like a Mirror's Edge kind of way of playing Overgrowth.
Yeah.
And I think it's really, really cool.
It is. Like, even this version, it's like super buggy. Yeah, this is like really hard to look around when you're like holding someone. It's like impossible to look in places. But like grabbing someone from behind and stealing their throats, throwing knives especially feels very nice.
Yeah. I think you really get a sense of like you are this character and you are playing this, and it's really immersive. I think. Yeah. Really cool.
You get like a total different feeling of being overwhelmed by many enemies and things like that as well. It's really nice.
Yeah.
My hope.
Way to go, Corbin3.
Yeah, very way to go, Corbin3. My hopes with this is that like when the game is out and released, that there will be a real first-person mod that doesn't have many of the bugs that this one has. Like you can sometimes see your inside of your mouth, and you can't like move backwards, for instance, now, because then you're just kind of spin on the spot. So you can only use like either forwards or to the sides you can walk. Yeah.
Right.
It's just really cool. I highly suggest to check it out if you're interested at all. It makes the game harder to play, harder to see, and there are a few more things, but it's totally worth it.
I mean, the fact that the camera is like it is mounted to your head and you get all the subtle little movements, it's very cool. I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. So, very nice job by Corbin3 on that. Let us keep on moving. Next up, Some Launcher Alpha 2.1.3. I should add these checkboxes, by the way, by learn_more. By the way, thank you, learn_more. Some Launcher Alpha 2.1.3 has been released. So, what's new in this latest version? You can retry when you're downloading things and you sometimes get disconnected for some reason. I don't think it's not entirely clear why that happens, right, Anton?
Yeah, I mean we have a couple specific case scenarios that we've been able to track down, but in general, this solves a problem where we don't know why it loses a connection way.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it adds a few other things. Has there been another update for this month, or is this the only one?
Actually, I think 2.1.2 came out this month as well. But I can't think of what it did off the top of my head. But I remember it was nice.
Yeah, it was probably nice. I think I can find it here. Let's see. No. You added support for new authentication system. Fixed currently selected config item not saving on Control S. Removed extraneous error messages when no internet connection available. Added retry button when tweets fail to load. Yeah, this thing is getting better, but it's soon going to be added on, I guess. By like this whole thing with getting disconnected and things like that won't be a problem, because that part will be taken out entirely pretty much and redone from scratch, right?
Yeah. Some of the things that really happened when we moved to version 2.0, the whole code became much more modular, and that's going to make it much easier for future development and small bug fixes. So as we sort of kill this old method of loading the menu mod and add in the new methods, it should be smooth transition.
Cool.
He says not completely. I don't know what he said. Downloads in general can be blocked. Oh, he's talking about...
Yeah, it'll be better. It's improved, at least. So...
Yeah.
Let's jump right on. We have community level segment this week. I made a video where I show 15 seconds from each level that has been released this month, up until yesterday at least. I don't know if something has been released today. So let's take a look at that video.
Yay, video.
Take a look. And I think it's best if people mute themselves, because I'm kind of saying the names of the levels and stuff. It's pretty cool. Uncarage by Mikey661. I'm kind of saying the names of the levels and stuff. It's pretty cool. Uncarage by Mikey661. I'm kind of saying the names of the levels and stuff. It's pretty cool. Uncarage by Mikey.
Crazy.
I think that was my fault. Sorry, guys. Sorry,
yeah, and I was muted as well, so I was speaking to Anton right now. Yes, let's look at the video.
Let's try again.
Uncarage by Mikey661. Orange Shards by Mikey661. Big City by Girth. Chartres Campaign, Chapter 1 by Zwerty. Chartres Campaign, Chapter 2 by Zwerty. Chartres Campaign, Chapter 3 by Zwerty. Domcheck's Story Map Pack, Chapter 1, by Domcheck. Lunny Bunny Race, by Beauty. Lunny Bunny Race 2 by Beauty. Lunny Bunny Race 3 by Beauty. The Long Journey by Beauty. Lost Town of the Moon by Beauty. Rainbow Shards by Anton. Green Shards by Timbles. Ragdoll Speed Kill by Akazi. Training Arena by Mr. Crinkle.
Really? Weird. That one plays great for me.
Ooh, there's some sort of echoing now.
I forgot to unmute myself. Hi guys. Yes, that's the community. Yeah, yeah. Community level roundup for July. And there are 2 levels that aren't in there, as I was saying, but you know, why do I need to have my mic on, you know, at all anyway? You know. So 2 levels aren't in there. City of Dog by Speedy. And one more. Star Bunny Second Contact by Speedy. Because that one was just too late for me to be able to have it in there. Yeah, lots and lots of levels this week.
Yeah. And a lot of really good ones. I mean, we can kind of group them together a little bit. Obviously, there were a whole bunch of races by Spuddy, and I thought they were a lot of fun. They remind me a lot of the Rainbow Road maps from Mario Kart, and
Yeah.
so I love it. Just the colors and the way that they play, it's cool.
I really like the race levels, like especially race 2 is nice. I haven't played race 1 too much, because I came in like after that was over, or however you say, because you know, when he releases a new level, it's kind of like he takes the best ones from the last level and he has, you know, a like first, second and third place thing on the next level that he makes. So of course you want to play the latest level, because then you might, you know, you have a chance to get on the top 3 there on the next level, which is cool. So I played number 2, which is nice. It's like 1 minute long, which is a good length. And then it released race 3, which was like I think, wasn't it like 3 minutes or something long? When like 3 minutes.
The best I've seen is 3 minutes, and that was his own release video. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's a bit too much for me. Like, I had to spend like 4 hours or something getting my time on the second one, like on 1 minute. So that would be many hours to get a satisfactory time on a map that takes 3 minutes to play through. But I need to play through it, so I should probably do that before I say anything like that.
It's the hardest of all three as well so far. I have a hard time finishing it consistently.
But
it's both good and bad. Yeah.
I think more people should make these race levels because they're very cool and very funny.
Yeah.
And then of course we also had, we had a bunch of like story levels, I guess. We have Star Bunny First Contact, for instance, very story focused, and on Karash was also pretty, narrative in how it worked, for instance, and things like that. Very cool stuff.
And people writing campaigns, and we get things in 3 parts, or you get the first chapter of something that they're planning to continue. I thought that was a lot of fun. We like the narratives.
Yeah, we do. We do like narratives. So which ones of these levels did you like the most?
I think Anchorage was very nice.
What did you say, Morten?
Anchorage was very nice.
Yeah, I liked that one too, but I was kind of like... I didn't understand if I had won. Because, I don't kill all the guards towards the top, because, you're not supposed to. And then when I was at the top, I think I was at the top, and, the dude was dead, and I was kind of like, is this it? Or, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was that the end? Is that the end? Oh.
I think so.
It's a very nice map, anyway. It's well done. You can see there's, like, dialogue there and stuff. It's cool.
Right.
It feels like a more complete level, so.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't like about the Ankarash map was these whole stones trying to sort of lead your path. That was actually that was sort of my least favorite portion of it, because he was saying that it was an exploration map, and if you have something telling you where to explore, you're not really exploring. Plus the difference in color between what was supposed to be the actual path and the fake path was so small that it didn't really make a difference. I just explored everywhere anyway and ignored the color. So yeah, I don't know. That was kind of my only complaint.
Yeah, I just followed the right path, and then I didn't really have any problem finding, what path was the right one. Because, after a very short while, it just felt like, just keep going. But, it's a nice map anyway, and you should play it, because it's cool.
Yeah,
let's move on.
There
are many maps we should probably keep moving.
Yep.
We have Big City by Girth. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The thing that I talked to him about a little bit, I mean, the city is amazing. It's amazingly detailed, and it's only one object, so it's actually really easy on the computer. Like most computers are not going to struggle to play it, and that's fantastic. My only feeling is I feel like I get over the buildings so quickly, that the buildings are narrow, that I don't actually believe people would live in these tiny little buildings.
Yeah, like my problem with it is that it feels like I'm walking around in an Assassin's Creed level, but I'm a rabbit that can jump twice as high and 4 times as long, so it feels a little unbalanced level-wise, but it's impressive nonetheless.
Yeah, it feels like a 3/4 scale city.
Yeah.
But it definitely does have that feeling of a just giant Assassin's Creed map, and it's it's great, and I've seen he's been starting to add textures to some of the buildings, and so when we see this textured, I think it's going to be cool. The problem he's trying to figure out how to texture it correctly in the game.
Yeah, I mean, texturing that as one object is not.
Yeah, it's basically not gonna work very well.
It's not the way to go.
It's going to be very hard.
Well, so what he's trying to do right now, I think, from what I understand, is he's trying to use detail maps, with stone, wood, something else, and then using the text, detail maps. It should actually automatically sort of texture itself in some ways,
Yeah.
but I still don't think it's going to be enough because you can only have 4 detail textures on an object.
The
I don't
problem
think
is
it's
also
gonna be
like the buildings, they have that 90-degree angle, and anything that goes there is going to have a stretch texture. So, curious to see how you solve that. But if you import everything as one object into the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's dividing the object and using detail textures. Okay.
Okay. So we have him here even in the chat.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
Yeah, but it's a fantastic level, and I mean, look at that scene, that view. Look at everywhere around him. It's an amazing level and so much fun to play in. Even though there's there's some climbing spots that you can play around in. There's not like any set goals, but man, I just sat and played around in this level for a couple hours, I think.
Yeah.
Which for me is a lot of time.
It's a really, really cool level, and as you say, like it's cool how well it runs as well. Like I didn't have any issue running this. I mean, of course, it's quite low poly and stuff, but it's so huge, so much stuff. I don't think that even if this was like with the separate objects, I think that probably wouldn't work because it would be a lot of separate objects, and even if they're just boxes, it seems like Overgrowth just doesn't handle that very well.
At least not yet, and because there's no level of detail system yet for objects, and there's no there's like no optimization on the game yet. So the fact that this runs so well is fantastic.
Yeah, Lukas and I we were talking about that just the other day. That I mean, this works well, maybe because it's one big object, but as soon as some sort of level of detail system is implemented for objects, I think it would be more feasible to make a complete city level like this, and that would be very, very awesome.
Absolutely. So that's a big city by Girth. We'll see what happens with that. Hopefully something amazing will happen with that. That's, my guess at least. So more levels have been released. Let's see what else.
There's all the shard levels, orange shards and green shards and rainbow shards.
Yes, shard levels.
They're all kind of exploration, semi-parkour, semi-platforming levels. And I actually think they're a lot of fun. They're reminiscent of the early levels that Aubrey made, like Red Shards. And, when you watch all the videos on YouTube of people playing Overgrowth, I would say like 80% of people start with Red Shards, and it's in some ways it's because it's the first level, but it's also just one of those levels that shows off that the mechanics of the game are fun to play. And so I think that all of the Shards levels that have been released this month have been similar in that sense, so it's very cool.
Yeah, it's nice. And I like the shard levels. It's like a lot of level types. Like when games come up, when there are games, video games, these different kinds of special levels always seem to come up. Like, for Counter-Strike, there are like, this isn't like an extreme example, but there are like surf levels, for instance, and you have like the big box room levels and things like that. And in Overgrowth, we have, shard levels. It just makes sense. No, hexagons. I haven't seen that in any game before. Hexagons in
Right.
shape, which is I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
And I think that before we move on with more levels, we have Steel Raven 7, of course. He's contributing like never before.
Like crazy. I think it's because it's the monthly now, so it's just he's going crazy.
So it's monthly, and we get more Steel Raven as well. Dang, dude. So we have this one. What do you say? What do you say?
It's
Is it?
like,
And if you look closer at my mouth there, you can see that I'm actually eating a baguette and a beret. If you take a closer look. That's like comic relief by Steel Raven. It's a thing with Overgrowth Weekly. He's, you know, that's a thing now.
I think it's a thing.
Why? Why? I don't even know. Steel Raven, man. Okay, more levels. What's up, man? A ragdoll speed kill. Can kill some ragdolls with speed.
Yep.
It's pretty cool.
Fun.
Anything we've missed? Anything we've missed? No, that's about it, right?
I think that's about it.
Yeah. So make levels, man, and we'll talk about them. Because now we're monthly, and we'll take more time with, you know, the small things. Especially if we make a good level. We'll talk about it much. So make good levels. That's the most important thing. So yeah.
Exactly.
Moving on to questions and answers, where questions are asked and answered. And of course, you can submit your questions. You have, you know, in the agenda, you have a little link right there. And we have gotten questions through that link, and we're going to answer them. So, first up is Benny P, who asks, why does entering slow-mo boost the frame rate so much in Overgrowth? And the answer, do you want to take this one, Anton?
I'm actually opening up the answers, so why don't you go ahead and take this one?
All right. Well, it's because the game simply has more time to do the calculations that it needs to do. So, because the heavy things with Overgrowth, isn't just rendering the graphics. Because it does render the graphics all the time, but that's not the heavy stuff. The heavy stuff is mostly the physics and things like that, and the, you know, AI. Everything like that. So when you slow down the game, it doesn't have to calculate the physics as much, because it kind of, you know, interpolates between positions instead. So it will basically get like 1/10 of the CPU calculations, because, you know, the game slows down to 1/10 of the normal speed. And
right.
That is that. And next question by Gap: will bow and arrow come to the game?
No.
No.
Nope. But there's a pretty strong chance someone will mod it in. Having had a lot of conversations with the developers, I just it's the wrong kind of weapon for a melee-based game.
Yeah, and I mean, this year is apparently, like last year we had the year of the shooter. Apparently this year is the year of the bow, crossbow, anything with arrows, really. So I think it's wise to just stay away from that.
Yeah, and be original instead.
It doesn't fit with the playstyle of Overgrowth, really.
Yeah, this is basically
I do think we should put a crossbow into receiver and make it a zombie game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too, Anton.
Don't judge me.
Stare of judgment.
So the
Huh?
I was gonna go on to the next question.
Go for it, Anton. I believe you.
The next question was asked by Chiffon Jaguar. It says, nice link. I was wondering if you guys have any plans to introduce more human characters and more structured animations. I love the creatures, but yeah, just curious. So I'm going to read the answer that we have here. It says there won't be any human characters in the game, but he said we weren't sure what he meant by structured animations. There will probably be mods that add humans to the game, though. There's already been one done with the Oni mod. So, for those of you who are unaware, which is not most of this audience, but there will be 5 creature races in the game, which will be rabbits, cats, wolves, dogs, and rats. Those are the 5 that will be in the vanilla version of the game. Modding, however, as we've seen, is incredibly open and easy in the game, and we'll probably see mods of all kinds of things.
Yes.
I do think in terms of the animations, a lot of the game is procedurally animated, and it's a combination of procedural animations with keyframe animations that are blended together in a very smart way, I think. So I don't think that we'll necessarily need to see structured animations so much as we might see more refinement on the animations, maybe some additional or alternate animations for the same actions substituted in and out of each other.
Down to what the animation system is fine with. Some of the stuff animation-wise really works, but some stuff is still kind of glitchy. So
yeah, that's true. And then we always have the jumping animation.
Exactly.
That is never going to be perfect. So yeah.
It's funny because the jumping animation may seem a little bit stiff to some people. That's what people complain about the most, in particular the arms kind of being stuck straight down. But the thing is that it actually gives you a very accurate representation of how the jump arc is working, and you can tell where along the jump path you are based on the animation, which can help you time jumps better and know if you're going to die, know if you're going to survive, things like that.
Yeah.
For me, it's not so much like I don't really mind the stiff arm thing because it's nice, like you say, it's a good way of measuring distance and speed and stuff. But it's just it needs more. I feel it needs more asymmetry in it, so it's not just like up and down, but just some small refinements.
Yeah, but again, I think the way that he put the kind of gyroscoping arms when you the flailing when you start to fall, I think just something even subtle like that, just to make it a little more animated, would appease most people, because the overall structure of the jump, I think, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I haven't really reacted to it at all. Like, I think it makes total sense. It's like, he's just jumping. His arms are to his side. Oh. That's what happens, because he's jumping so goddamn hard. Well, yeah.
Exactly.
We'll see what happens with the jumping animation. Some people don't seem to like it anyway. We'll see. So next question by Cardboard Elephant, or Cardboard 3 Elephant. If you could add another race for Overgrowth, what would it be?
I answered this. I said I'd like something reptilian. I like reptiles. And specifically, I thought it'd be cool to have one of those, like, Jesus lizards. I can't remember what they're really called, but the Jesus lizards with the frills that run on the water.
Oh,
pretty awesome.
The Jesus lizard.
I would like to have Andridge's bear in the game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's what I would want.
Pretty cool.
Specifically, it's like Andridge's bear is like a separate race, for itself.
It's gonna be a very lonely race.
Yeah. The last of its kind.
And
yeah, go ahead.
What about you, Morten? Do you want to come up on the spot and answer this one?
On the spot, I would say not horses. I don't think that would fit. I really like Andridge's bear, and I think something more towards the heavy side would be nice to see now, because we got cats and rats and rabbits, and then there's one wolf, which is like the big heavy one, so something towards the heavy. But that's why I think the bear would be very nice to have.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So then we have a question from everybody who asks, Hi.
Hi.
Person named John asks, will receiver be updated at all? What do you think, Anton?
Well, with my conversations with David and Aubrey about the game...
You're gone, Anton. Now you're back.
Oh, I'm gone. Now I'm back.
Yes.
Okay. So, we do definitely have plans to update the game. I don't have any time frame. or what that will be like. As Overgrowth is still our priority, but we're not planning on abandoning it by any means, and certainly it's something interesting and something that we discuss quite often. Had a few conversations about where we could go with it and things we can do with it.
And
I would expect...
Yeah, everyone's speaking at the same time. Morten, go ahead.
I think it's a very interesting concept, and what they managed to do with the 9 days they had to they produced it is very nice. And I think the additions that they've made, like, you know, that they came up with during Receiver that they got implemented in Overgrowth was very nice. Definitely, continuing. And
so what I was going to say is, it has received, like, it has been updated already. So, you know, maybe there will be times when David is like, oh, I'm going to work on Receiver now a bit, and, you know, fix this and that, and, you know, maybe that'll happen, because, you know, we'll see. But hopefully it will like keep getting updated from time to time anyway. And then if you want to like develop it further, then, you know, that's a different thing, I guess.
Yeah, my guess is that, and this is just my personal guess, which has nothing to do necessarily with the rest of the team, but my guess would be is that when we see more updates, we'll probably see, like, the next update, I would imagine, will be adding some of the features that we didn't get to in the last game. I think that we I can't let's see. Yeah, I think that, so some of the fixes, some of the things like flashlight that are missing, I know that we want to add more guns. My guess is that we'll probably see like small patches at first, and then we'll probably see like a big update and then patches. But I think that the bigger updates will probably be pretty sparse, be intermittent.
So do you want to take the next question, Anton? We can hear you writing, by the way, Morten.
Yes, very much. Okay, so the next question was asked by Lepus Arcticus. And he writes, during our asset overview number 32, Aubrey shown that it was possible to cut a few holes in any level by highlighting polygons from the level model, acting as an entrance or exit to a cave. The question is, what tool or applications do you need for this, and what application was being used in the video? Deleting vertices from the level name .object in Blender didn't work. Big thank you. And I actually think that Lukas should answer this.
Yes. We have a tutorial for this. I made a tutorial for this, a video tutorial that we're going to show. I'm going to wait with it until after the questions and answers. But yeah, there will be a tutorial right after the Q&A.
So I'll keep going then.
Yeah, do that.
The next was a question by Drachenbrute4, who asks, why is Overgrowth a ninja fighting rabbit game? I mean, I can see the rabbits, or are there no ninjas? We had a couple, the devs have actually talked about this on a couple occasions, and I think that we might be copying and pasting some of these blog post links into the chat right now for you. But there are no actual ninjas in the game. What the dev team was trying to do was they were actually trying to create a tagline for the game. They figured out that this was sort of the best way to summarize what it was. When you say the Ninja Rabbit fighting game, you pretty clearly know that there's rabbits, you know that there's fighting, and you know that there's the possibility for stealth in the game as if you were a ninja. So it's not specifically the actual Japanese historical ninja, but there are certainly elements from that in general.
I think true historical ninjas in the game would be quite boring. I mean, mostly they act as servants, so I don't see it's
you know that they've been so romanticized by film and TV and books that you know, real ninjas were just hired assassins. They killed people. That's what they did.
Yeah. I allowed myself to sneak in a little reply, and it was like, ninjas are awesome. That's why. So, but the ninjas, I mean, how I feel about it is, you know, they're lurking in the shadows, and see them. So that's why.
Yeah, they're just really cool, you know. Cool guys. They're, you know, chill dudes hanging out, being cool, killing people. That's what they do.
But someone needs to make like, and there will be like a level at some point where there's in the shadows, there's a ninja hiding.
Yeah.
Happen now.
Exactly.
So the last question is from Steel Raven 8, who asks, "Is Steel Raven 7 awesome?" And in parentheses he writes Y/N, so the letter Y/letter N. And it's a hard question. It touches on a bunch of like of deep topics, I would say. So it's hard to give a straight answer like that. But I guess since he asked, I mean, Steel Raven 8 is new to the community and stuff, so.
Very true, very true.
So we need to be nice to the newbies. I'm gonna try. Yeah, I think I'm gonna answer the letter Y on that.
I will also answer the letter Y.
Y.
Very eloquently put.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the Q&A.
We actually have one more question.
We have that just dropped in then, I guess.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love this one. It's Jackson MG is asking, will water be added?
Water. Water. I have water.
I would is that oh, that's not on here. That is a long and drawn out question with the answer being
N.
We don't know.
F.
With water, the thing is the team is very specific about the amount of detail that they put into something, and if they put it into the game, they want to make sure that they do it right. If you put it into the game, you're going to spend a lot of time dealing with the increased physics and lighting and other elements that may go along with having water in the game. And the question is, does the amount of time required to develop that type of technology add anything to the game? And right now, visually, I think if they just added a visual water that you could never reach, the amount of time required to do that may be worth it. The amount of time to add underwater fighting and swimming, probably not for the initial release.
I agree with you on the more practical side of it, like having animations done and everything, so you have functional water would maybe be redundant for a game like this. But I really think that having it as a visual aid in the game, in the level, adds a lot to a level. So I think that would be important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think
the
we're
scary
all on the
thing
same
is
page
like
there.
Yeah, the scary thing is like what happens if you like walk over a puddle? You know? Wet? Does your fur get wet? There's just so many, you know, issues with it, unfortunately.
Yes. So that is the Q&A, right? No more questions. So if you want to ask questions, of course, you can check out the agenda, and we have a link there to the page where you can send us questions, and we'll answer them in the next month's Overgrowth Weekly. But moving right along, let's take a look at that tutorial that I was talking about. Actually, I kind of misplaced this tutorial here, so I'm gonna have to find it again. Don't worry, this will be pretty good. There we go. So, enjoy, guys. Enjoy. Let's see. Bam. And yeah. Alright. Hello there, I am Lukas, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to create holes in the terrain like I've done here. And this is very useful if you want to create caves, for instance, or something similar like that in your terrain. To do that, we need to edit the terrain model file, and we can find out what terrain model file we have by looking in the in our levels XML file. So go to your Overgrowth directory and then into your data folder and then levels, and in here you should have your level somewhere, hopefully. So open up the XML file for your level. Mine is this one, tutorial_terrain.xml, so I'm going to open up that with Notepad. And under terrain here, you can see that we have a height map, and that's located in data, textures, terrain, impressive_mountains, impressive_mountains underscore hm.png. So that is the name of our height map, and our OBJ file, which is the model file that we're going to edit, will have this name, but it will have .obj at the end. So first things first, let's find out if this OBJ file is located in our Overgrowth directory. So go to your Overgrowth directory once again, and then go into data, and let's see, where was it located? Let's see. So it should be in textures, data, textures, and then terrain, and then impressive mountains, and there is our OBJ file. Now if you can't find the OBJ file in this folder, then it's probably located in your user directory, and that would be my documents. So I'm going to go to my documents, and then to Wolfire, Overgrowth, data, and let's see, textures, right? And then terrain, and then impressive_mountains, and then it would be located in here, but it's not in this case because it was already located in the Wolfire folder. And if you can't find it in here either for your terrain, then you need to start the level, because then the game hasn't generated a terrain for you yet. We're going to use Blender for this, so if you don't have Blender, you can go to blender.org and download that from there. So when you start up Blender, it's going to look something like this. You can just click to remove that message, and then hit A, and then A again to select everything, and then press X and click to delete. And then we're going to want to import an OBJ file, wavefront OBJ. I have my impressive mountains right here, so I'm just going to jump right in there and take the OBJ file, and it's going to take a few moments to load here. And here we go. This is the terrain for the level that I'm working on. Let's find a good place to remove some stuff then. So I'm using middle mouse click to move around the camera like this, and then hold shift with middle mouse to pan around, and scroll wheel to zoom in and out. With the object selected, which I select with right click, I press tab to go into edit mode, and then I press A to deselect everything. I press B to enter box select mode, and then I click and drag, and let's go, and then I press X and delete the vertices. Now when you do this, what you want to make sure is that you do not have anything that looks like this. So this is a guy that's just hanging in the air like this with no support around him. If you have a piece that is like this, then when you try to start your level, the game is going to crash. And we're looking good here, so I'm going to hit tab once again to get out of edit mode, and then hit File, Export, Wavefront OBJ. I'm going to jump into my Overgrowth folder, let's see, and then Data, and then you can put this OBJ file wherever you want. I'm going to put it in my personal custom folder, so I'm going to go into the custom directory, and then Silverfish, and then I'm going to jump into, let's create actually a new directory called Terrain here. Jump in there, and I'm going to call this my_terrain.obj. Let's export that, and now that's done, so let's minimize Blender and get back into our level XML file. So now that we have our terrain all holy like we want it, oh holy, yeah, funny, we want to add an model override tag to our terrain tag. So in beneath your terrain tag here, just at the top here is fine. I'm going to add a model override tag, and that looks like that. So model override, make sure you get the caps right and all that. And this is going to point to our OBJ file that we created, and that is located in, let me bring this up once again so that we don't get this wrong. Actually, I can just copy paste it, that would be the easiest way to do it. So I was in data, custom, silverfish, and then terrain, and here it is. So I'm just going to click up there and take this path, copy that, paste that there. Data custom silverfish terrain. And then we add my_terrain.obj. So copy that and paste it there. And then save that. And now when you load the level, it should have your edited terrain in it. So let's try it out and see if it works. My level was called tutorial_terrain. Tutorial_terrain.xml. And here we are in our final level. Let's jump over here and we can clearly see that we have created a hole in the terrain. So that's it for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you some other day. Bye bye. And there you go. That's a tutorial on how to make holes in your terrain. How to make your terrain holy. Oh yeah. And yeah, that was just because he asked that question. I was like, I should make a tutorial on that, and then I did. So ask questions to us, and we might make a tutorial for you, and things like that. So yeah, moving right along, jumping on to the Wolfire blog. What's been going on there? We have 2 art assets overviews that has happened, and they both talk about, I guess, maps, levels for Overgrowth that Aubrey has been working on. So that's some pretty...
Welcome to the Overgrowth Art Asset Overview. This week...
Well, and some of the things that are interesting about this particular art asset overviews and these new levels are that he's created multiple versions of the levels, so you actually see them in different seasons. You see them in springtime, you see them in summer, you see them in winter, and they all have a very distinct feel in all of those different seasons, and it really makes the maps feel very versatile. So
yeah,
it can really make it feel like a completely different level.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And like he says in the video, it's like he's very happy about the looks versus the gameplay versus the
change.
I couldn't hear you, Anton. Speak again.
What were you saying, Mark? It changes what?
It can really feel like a completely different level.
I completely agree.
Yes. So yeah, these levels, as I was saying, he's very happy, he says in the video, about the like fidelity of the level, like the looks of the level versus the gameplay versus the performance of the level. And I have to agree, the levels look really, really good, even though they don't have like a load of objects on them, and they actually really work in the current alphas. I mean, you can't play even if you have a really bad computer, but if you have like a pretty good computer, you can play it, and that's not true for all Overgrowth levels. So yeah, very nice work, I have to say.
Very cool.
And the second level that he talks about, this is the first artist overview. In the second artist overview, he talks about another level where he has like 2 levels in one. Because there's like an elevated area far up that you can't get up there really, but it's like you're supposed to have a separate level there, I guess. And then you can have like a level on the ground and one level up top, and then, you know, both of the levels will have each other as backdrops, which is a really cool idea, I think.
Right. It also makes them feel very connected in terms of location and important aspects, you know, to the game. You feel like you're coming back to the same place, exactly the same spot, not the same time of year. I really like that.
Yeah. I think it's really cool. And it's like, you know, 2 birds with 1 stone, or however you say in English. You know, 2 levels in one. Very good.
Exactly.
Yay. Because that doubles the amount of levels that you can have there. If you have like two times of, you know, 2 seasons, you can have for each one season you can have 1 on ground and 1 up top, and then for the next season you can also have 1 on ground and then 1 up top. It's really great. And then if you add another season, it's like increases like 2 levels in one. Really cool stuff. So yeah, art asset reviews. You should watch them yourself. We don't have enough time to show them to you. We have enough videos you have seen anyway today. So let's keep moving. A blog post from Aubrey as well. What is the story in Receiver about? So, Anton, what is the story in Receiver about?
Yeah, that's definitely the question. I would suggest reading the blog because the story itself is still relatively up to interpretation. While we certainly had some themes revolving around the behavior of a cult and what would happen if a cult was correct in their predictions and the way that they. So specifically, it was if a UFO cult was correct that the end of the world was about to come and the end of the world happened, and you survive that event.
Mm-hmm.
How do you sort of continue moving forward from that point on? And it definitely, I think, portrays a lot of those sentiments. And
Oh, you cut out again.
Weird. Am I back?
It's something, all of those sentiments, and then you were gone.
Huh.
Now you're gone again. I don't know what's going on. What's going on?
That's very bizarre.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. I don't know. It looks like my volume was really low. Am I like really quiet or something?
I don't
Oh, you
know.
sound fine.
Well, yeah, this blog post, it's really good. It's like the story is never explained in Receiver, and if you're wondering what Receiver is, it's the 7-day FPS game that Wolfire made. We talked about it a bit before. So it's a first-person shooter game, and it has this interesting story that doesn't really explain itself to you. You need to kind of experience the story while you're playing, and so it's very much, as you say, open to interpretation. And with this blog post, it kind of describes what he did with the story, what he tried to do, and what he think he succeeded with, and so on. So it's a very interesting blog post, especially if you're interested in, new ways of doing stories in game, because this is a very new way of doing stories in game. I haven't seen this before.
Yep. And we've discussed some ideas for how to develop that story and sentiment further, so I hope that we do have the chance to move forward with some of them.
Cool. So, moving on then to the news segment, and we have one news item here this fine day, and that is the Humble Music Bundle, and that's still live, I think. So this is the very first music bundle. What do you guys think about that?
I'm really excited to see it come out. I've had a lot of conversations about this bundle over the years, and it's it's very cool, and I'm glad to see it happening, and I'm glad to see people are excited about it, and they've been buying it. It's certainly different, but one thing that I'm happy about is I do think that it gives justification for the for people to feel like music still has a value, and that's something that I felt like in this online community, in this online world we have, the value of music has depreciated. So I'm very excited to see people paying for a bundle like this, and I love the artists in this, almost all of them. So I actually really like the bundle. I really like the music, and that stuff is pretty cool.
And if you like it too, then you should probably get it before it's too late. Only 11 days left. And remember, now you don't have us to remind you next week, because we're monthly now, so you should get it right now if you're planning to. Anyway.
Yeah. So, and the answer to the question that people are asking about the Receiver soundtrack will probably not be added to this bundle.
You're just saying that now, Anton. Now we never know. You're just saying that to trick us, so now we know that it actually is getting added. Right? Second guessing you, or whatever it's called, No? Okay.
No, it's really not being added. Or if it is, I will be very, very surprised because we have not talked about adding it. Unfortunately, I don't think that a 4-song soundtrack really quite fits in with these albums, which are more, bands, and then more focused on something other than game music. Although it's certainly the kind of music that kind of geeky game people might like.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yep.
Very nice music bundle. Hope maybe we'll see other bundles in the future. We'll see. Maybe there'll be like a humble fast food bundle, and you get like frozen pizzas or something. Pay what you want.
I do think that if this music bundle does well, I think that we could potentially see music bundles happen more often.
Cool. Yeah.
If you guys like this, this kind of music bundle, you guys should be sure to support it and make sure that you let them know that it's.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the end of the news segment, and thus the end of the show, because this is the last segment of the show. So, as I said before during the show, most of the videos that we're shown here today are going to be available on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/ogweekly. And of course, don't forget to check out our website as well at ogweekly.com for the agenda and the link to where you can send us questions if you want those answered during the next OG Weekly.
Yep.
So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next month.
See you guys in a month.
See ya.